Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how the simple act of walking, the thing many of us count on for health, can quietly speed up knee wear after 60. The problem: age changes in cartilage, weaker hip and thigh muscles, altered stride, and the wrong shoes can turn daily walks into a slow grind on your joints, leaving you stiffer, more swollen, and at higher risk of chronic pain. The solution isn't to stop moving, it's smarter movement. In this video, first I'll show you a 30-second gait check, the shoe and posture tweaks that shift pressure off the knee, and 2 short strength moves that stabilize the joint. Then first I'll put those pieces together into a simple, 1-minute routine you can try today and a 3-step plan to protect your knees long-term. Stay with me. First I'll guide you through the quick tests and demos so you can keep walking pain-free. If you want practical steps, hit subscribe and let's get started. 1. Common walking mistakes seniors make. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how small, everyday walking habits can quietly increase knee stress for people over 60. Walking remains a low-impact activity for most, yet technique and context matter. Biomechanical faults that were once harmless can compound with age-related changes in muscle strength, joint cartilage, and balance. When the hips stiffen or the thigh muscles weaken, the knees absorb forces they were not designed to take repeatedly. Many seniors tend to take overly long strides, which looks energetic but shifts impact forces toward the front of the knee. Overstriding increases braking forces when the foot lands ahead of the body's center of mass, and that extra jolt transfers through the patella and cartilage. A common visual is the heel slap, a long step followed by a loud contact. The sound is a clue that the knee is experiencing higher peak loads. Shortening stride and increasing turnover can reduce that abrupt force without lowering overall distance. Another frequent mistake is walking with minimal hip and trunk engagement. When glutes and core are weak, the knee can drift inward during stance, a movement called knee valgus, which strains the medial structures and the patellofemoral joint. Some people also point their toes outward or inward to compensate for hip stiffness, altering how the knee tracks and increasing wear on one side of the joint. Simple example: a walker whose toes splay out will often feel pain on the outside of the knee after long walks because the load shifts laterally. Footwear and surface choices matter too. Flat, worn-out shoes offer little shock absorption and poor arch support, letting pronation or supination distort the chain from foot to hip. Hard surfaces like concrete magnify repetitive impact. Conversely, varied terrain and softer surfaces reduce repetitive loading. Carrying heavy bags on one side is another easy-to-overlook habit. It creates asymmetry, forcing one leg to do more work and increasing unilateral knee strain. Posture and visual habits contribute as well. Many older adults look down at the ground while walking, which shortens the stride unintentionally and increases forward flexion, transferring more force to the knees and hips. Walking with locked knees is also common. The momentary hyperextension shifts load to passive structures rather than muscles, increasing joint compression. Likewise, failing to warm up or to include balance and strength work allows minor gait faults to become painful over time. There are practical fixes for each of these problems. Focus on a slightly shorter, quicker step, keep knees soft at contact, engage the hips and glutes, and choose supportive shoes with good midsole cushioning. Try alternating surfaces, add short strength sessions for hip abductors and quadriceps, and consider walking poles for stability and load sharing. If you notice persistent pain or visible gait changes, a professional gait analysis, physical therapy, or assessment of footwear and orthotics can pinpoint which mistake is causing the most harm and how to correct it. Start incorporating one change at a time so adaptations are safe and sustainable. Try a warm-up and a 5-10-minute session of glute activation before your next walk. Observe how your feet strike, and swap to shoes that provide better support if your soles are compressed. If knee pain continues, consult a clinician for a tailored plan. Small, specific corrections often prevent progression and let you keep walking with less pain. 2. Impact of high-impact steps on joint cartilage. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how repeated high-impact steps, like brisk stair descent, stepping off curbs, or abrupt downhill walking, place concentrated mechanical stress on knee cartilage and why that matters after age 60. These actions generate higher compressive and shear forces across the tibiofemoral and patellofemoral surfaces than steady, level walking. When cartilage is exposed to those forces repeatedly, the protective extracellular matrix begins to wear down faster than it can be repaired. Cartilage is a specialized, smooth tissue that cushions joints by distributing load and absorbing shock. It relies on a network of collagen and proteoglycans to hold water and resist compression, and on chondrocyte to maintain that matrix. With aging, chondrocyte activity and the ability to replace worn matrix decline, so the same mechanical insult produces more structural damage. Repeated high-impact steps create microfissures and fibrillation in the surface, reduce proteoglycan content, and alter the collagen scaffold, which reduces the tissue's ability to rebound after each load. Shear forces are particularly destructive. Sliding motions across the cartilage surface, which happen during uneven foot placement or sudden changes in direction, erode the superficial layer and expose deeper tissue. Examples include a misstep off a sidewalk, a hurried step down from a curb, or descending a set of stairs without controlled knee flexion. When the meniscus is degenerated or malalignment concentrates load on one compartment, commonly the medial side in varus knees, those same steps are amplified into focal overloads that accelerate cartilage breakdown. Practical adjustments can slow progression and protect remaining cartilage. Slower, controlled descent with increased knee flexion spreads forces over a larger surface and reduces peak compression. Using handrails or a gentle two-footed lowering technique on stairs, choosing routes with ramps rather than stairs, and wearing shoes with good shock absorption all reduce the intensity of impact. Strengthening the quadriceps, hip abductors, and calf muscles improves dynamic alignment and shock absorption, while balance and proprioception exercises reduce the risk of awkward steps that cause shear injuries. Integration into daily life can be straightforward. Swap one high-impact outing a week for cycling or water-based exercise. Start a short home strength routine 3 times a week to support landing mechanics. If you feel sharp pain during descent, swelling after walks, or persistent stiffness, get a targeted assessment from a physical therapist or physician who can evaluate gait, alignment, and meniscal health and prescribe a tailored plan. If your knees protest stairs or you notice increasing stiffness after walks, don't ignore it. Book an evaluation, add protective strategies like controlled descent and shock-absorbing footwear, and begin a strengthening program this week to help preserve the cartilage you still have. 3. Why improper footwear worsens knee pain. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how shoes that don't fit your feet or your gait can redirect forces and make knee pain worse after age 60. Poor footwear changes how your foot strikes the ground, and that altered contact sends different loads up the ankle and knee. This is not subtle. Small shifts in foot alignment can magnify compressive forces on one side of the knee joint, producing pain and accelerating wear in susceptible compartments. Start by addressing the problem directly. High heels, unsupportive sandals, and flattened, worn-out sneakers remove the foot's ability to absorb and distribute impact. The result is more shock transmitted upward with each step. Overpronation or excessive supination caused or unchecked by shoes increases twisting forces through the tibia into the knee. Short-term relief from a soft insole might feel good, but that alone won't correct a poor base of support. Practical solutions exist, and they are often simple. Choose shoes with a firm heel counter to stabilize the rear foot, and a midsole that provides controlled cushioning rather than sinking beneath weight. Look for a toe box that allows natural toe spread and a sole that matches the surface you walk on. For people whose feet roll inward excessively, motion control or stability models and custom or over-the-counter orthotics can help realign the foot so the knee tracks more naturally. For those with moderate knee osteoarthritis, rocker soles or shoes designed to reduce knee adduction moment can change loading patterns and reduce pain during walking. To understand why these choices matter, consider mechanics and concrete examples. A dress shoe with a narrow toe box and even a slight heel forces the foot forward, increasing knee flexion and patellofemoral pressure when the person walks. Flip-flops lack heel support and allow excessive pronation and internal rotation of the leg, often producing aching along the inner knee. Worn-out running shoes lose midsole integrity, so the cushioning that once attenuated impact is gone. A walker who keeps using them may feel new or worsening joint pain. A simple wear pattern check on the outsole reveals whether a shoe has lost its support. Uneven wear on the medial or lateral edge is a red flag. Integrate these changes gradually to avoid new problems. Start by swapping unstable or dress-only shoes for a supportive walking shoe during errands and longer walks. Break in new footwear over several short outings. Alternate two pairs so midsoles have time to recover and where patterns don't develop too quickly. If you notice persistent misalignment or pain, get a gait assessment from a physical therapist or podiatrist and consider custom orthotics combined with targeted strengthening exercises for hips and quadriceps to improve knee tracking. If knee pain is limiting activity, take action now. Test your current shoes, try on supportive walking shoes with a firm heel counter and roomy toe box, and schedule a professional gait or footwear assessment. Small footwear changes can translate into big reductions in knee stress, and starting today makes walking more comfortable and sustainable as you age. 4. Correct walking technique for joint protection. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how subtle changes in the way you walk can either protect or stress your knee joints after 60. Walking gait is a chain reaction. The foot contacts the ground, forces travel up through the ankle and knee to the hip, and the way you position those segments determines where the load concentrates. Poor alignment, a long, reaching stride, or a locked knee at impact tends to concentrate stress on specific parts of the joint rather than letting muscles and soft tissues absorb and distribute forces. Start by standing tall. Keep your head over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. Short sentence. Let your pelvis sit neutrally rather than tilted forward, and engage your core lightly so your trunk controls rotation. Look forward, not at the ground. Let the arms swing naturally opposite the legs. This counters excessive torso rotation and stabilizes the hips. Foot placement matters. Aim to land beneath your center of mass. Step under, not out in front. Avoid overstriding, which increases the braking force at the knee and encourages a hard heel strike with a stiff leg. A softer, controlled heel-to-midfoot roll reduces peak loads. Keep your knees slightly bent at initial contact instead of fully straightening them. That knee flexion allows the muscles to act like shock absorbers. Also pay attention to foot direction. Toes should generally point forward. If your feet turn in or out excessively, the knee can track improperly and wear unevenly. Push off from the hip, not by hyperextending the knee. Powerful hip extension from the glute muscles provides propulsion while protecting the knee joint from being the primary engine. Short sentence. Practically speaking, think shorter steps and slightly faster cadence rather than longer strides. This shifts some of the work to the ankle and hip and reduces the moment arm at the knee. Use simple drills to retrain movement. Practice marching in place with emphasis on a quiet, controlled footfall to build awareness. Walk alongside a hallway mirror or record a short video to check that your knee tracks over the second toe and does not collapse inward during stance. Try a cadence drill. Take smaller, quicker steps for a few minutes to feel how the body balances differently. Single leg balance holds and sidestepping help reinforce hip stability so the knee isn't left to compensate. Choose footwear that supports these goals. Shoes with a stable heel, good cushioning, and appropriate arch support encourage safer mechanics. Worn-out soles or overly flexible shoes can let the foot pronate excessively and alter knee tracking. Consider a trained professional's assessment for custom orthotics only if you have persistent pronation problems or unequal limb mechanics. Integrate these cues into daily life gradually. Begin with short practice sessions focusing on posture, foot placement, and hip-driven push-off. Add strength exercises for the glutes, quadriceps, and calf muscles to make the technique sustainable. If pain persists or you notice swelling, seek a gait analysis or physical therapy assessment so interventions can be tailored to your specific pattern. Try these adjustments on your next few walks and note how your knees feel. If something hurts, stop and consult a clinician. Small technique changes combined with targeted strengthening can make walking a joint-protecting activity rather than a damaging one. 5. Alternative low-impact exercises for seniors. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about safer ways to stay active that spare your knees. Many older adults find that repetitive pounding from long walks can irritate already vulnerable joints, especially when muscle weakness or cartilage wear is present. The good news is there are proven low-impact options that maintain cardiovascular health, build strength, and protect joint surfaces while reducing pain. Water-based exercise is one of the most knee-friendly choices. Buoyancy supports body weight and lowers the compressive forces across the knee, yet the water still provides resistance for strengthening. Try gentle water walking, leg lifts at waist depth, or a guided water aerobics class where instructors tailor movements to people with joint pain. Swimming laps with a focus on smooth kicks or using a kickboard can train the legs without jarring the knees. Many seniors report less pain after a few sessions because mobility improves and swelling can decrease. Cycling is another excellent option, especially on a recumbent or stationary bike. The circular motion keeps forces more controlled than a heel-first step and allows you to adjust resistance to match current fitness and pain levels. Be mindful of seat height and knee bend. A properly adjusted bike prevents excessive flexion and strain. Elliptical machines provide a similar benefit by offering a gliding, low-impact pattern that mimics walking without the ground impact. Both options let you work on endurance and leg strength while staying gentle on the joints. Strength work is crucial for long-term knee health. Strong quadriceps, hamstrings, and hip muscles stabilize the knee and take pressure off the joint surfaces. Simple, safe examples include seated straight leg raises, resistance band hamstring curls, and mini squats limited to a comfortable depth. Use a chair or countertop for balance as needed. Progressive resistance. Using elastic bands or light ankle weights under professional guidance builds muscle without high-impact loading. A physical therapist can show the right technique and set appropriate progressions. Balance and flexibility practices round out an effective program. Tai Chi and chair-adapted yoga promote balance, joint range, and proprioception while keeping movements slow and controlled. Short sequences of balance shifts, single leg stands with support, and calf or hamstring stretches help reduce fall risk and improve gait mechanics. Pilates adaptations focused on core and hip control also support knee alignment during walking and other activities. Put it together by mixing aerobic, strength, flexibility, and balance sessions across your week. Alternate water or cycling days with strength and balance work, so your knees get both conditioning and recovery. Start gently, stop if you feel sharp pain, and progress in small steps. Check your shoes, consider orthotics if recommended, and ask a clinician for a gait or strength assessment to personalize exercises. Try a single class or a short assessment with a physical therapist this week to find the best low-impact routine for you. 6. Daily Knee Strengthening Routine. Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Smith, and today first I'm going to tell you about how targeted strengthening can protect the knee by changing how forces travel through the joint, especially when age-related muscle loss and altered gait patterns increase stress on cartilage and tendons. Many older adults walk more, but fail to strengthen the muscles that control the knee, and that mismatch is a big part of why pain and degeneration accelerate. Weak quadriceps and glutes shift load into the joint. Poor hip stability allows the knee to drift inward during walking. Both translate into repetitive, focused wear on one region of the joint. The problem is clear. The solution is a short, focused daily routine that rebuilds the muscles that absorb shock and stabilize the knee. Start each session with a gentle warm-up, marching in place or a slow 5-minute walk to get blood flowing and joints lubricated. Then move into muscle-targeted moves that are joint-friendly. Quadriceps activation can begin with a simple quad set. Sit or lie with the leg straight. Tighten the front thigh muscle while pressing the back of the knee gently toward the floor. Hold for a controlled count and relax. Progress by practicing straight leg raises with careful pelvic control. Keep the opposite hip down and the spine neutral while lifting the straight leg to a comfortable height. For the posterior chain, bridges teach hip extension without excessive knee flexion. Focus on squeezing the glutes at the top and avoiding an overarching lower back. Standable options include slow heel raises to build calf strength and single leg supported deadlifts using a chair for balance to challenge hamstrings and glutes. Integrate hip-focused work to reduce sideways strain on the knee. Lateral band walks target the gluteus medius, helping to prevent knee collapse toward the midline during walking. Perform them with a light resistance band around the thighs, keeping toes forward and a slight knee bend. Step-ups onto a low, stable surface reproduce the functional pattern of getting up steps while letting you control depth and speed. Lead with the whole foot, press through the heel, and avoid forcing the knee forward over the toes. Mini squats to a chair build quadriceps strength while maintaining safe joint angles. Sit back as if reaching for the chair, then stand by driving through the hips. Watch form carefully. Knees should track over the second toe and not fall inward. The chest stays lifted, and motion should be slow and deliberate. Sharp pain or new swelling is a signal to stop and seek professional advice. Progression matters and should be individualized. Increase challenge by adding resistance bands, slowing the movement tempo, reducing hand support, or lengthening range of motion when exercises feel controlled and pain is absent. Equally important is recovery. Include daily gentle mobility work for the hips and ankles so the knee does not compensate for stiffness elsewhere. Combine these strengthening elements with your walking routine by doing a brief set of exercises before or after walks. This primes muscles to fire correctly during gait and integrates strength into the movement pattern. If persistent pain, instability, or swelling limit your ability to perform these moves, consult a physical therapist for a tailored plan and hands-on guidance. Take a small step today. Try 2 or 3 of the described exercises, performed with control and attention to alignment, and check how your knee feels during and after walking. Seek professional evaluation if pain worsens. For demonstration videos and a printable progression you can follow at home, reach out to a licensed clinician or follow reputable rehab resources to make sure your daily routine protects rather than stresses your knees. To wrap up, walking can actually hurt knees after 60 when repetitive loading, poor gait, weak hip and thigh muscles, bad footwear, or underlying arthritis combine over time. The good news is you don't have to stop moving. You need smarter movement. Focus on strengthening the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. Improve your walking form, shorter stride, controlled foot strike. Swap in low-impact cardio, cycling, swimming. Choose supportive shoes or orthotics, and get a gait check from a physical therapist if pain persists. Practical next steps: start a gentle strengthening routine, glute bridges, straight leg raises, seated heel raises, 2-3 times/week. Warm up before walks, use poles or softer surfaces for longer outings, and reduce mileage briefly if you feel sharp pain. Ice and short rest after flares, and see your doc for persistent swelling or instability. First, know it's frustrating to be told, just keep walking, when your knees ache. First V worked with many people who made this gradual shift and regained pain-free activity. If this helped, like the video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what knee issue you're dealing with. Next time, First will walk you through a 10-minute starter exercise routine and show the best walking shoes for older knees. Take small, smart steps. See you in the next video.